Have you ever felt that you are just being forced into a box? You know that this box doesn't really fit you, but everyone else is like, oh my God, this is so good. But deep down, you're like, actually, this is not that good. It is worse than I expected. Am I missing something here? Am I doing something wrong? Well, that was me until I stopped learning hypnosis and NLP methods. And this is what I mean. I was trained traditionally in a very expensive, highly popular training school for hypnotherapy. And at first, it was pretty cool because it was novel for me. But it lost its steam very, very quickly. And what was interesting is that my very first person that I hypnotized was someone who couldn't visualize the down the 10 steps from the induction. And immediately that was like my first wake up call that I denied back then. But it was one of those things where I was like, oh, this is interesting. It's already not working. So that seed of doubt was planted very quickly. But overall, and as time went on, I saw hit or miss results. It didn't work for everyone. It didn't work for logical clients. It didn't work for clients like me who can't visualize, clients like me who are really stubborn and really didn't like other voices telling me what to do to implant suggestions into my subconscious. I hated that shit. I hated the fact that we had to use scripts and say, I am enough 1,000 times. Like, what's the point of that? If the and I knew that if the person really didn't believe that they were enough, there's no fucking way they're gonna start believing it 1,000 times using another person's voice. And that really was so incongruent to me. That gave me so much inner conflict, that put so much pressure on me. It made me doubt myself. It made me second guess myself. I thought that, it was me. I thought that I was the problem when the true problem really was the methods that I was taught. And as someone who has, over decades of experience in nursing, I'm highly trained in mental health. I'm highly trained in complex medical and mental conditions. I am trained in assessing a person's capacity for shelter decisions. So I had all of these experiences when it comes to actually interacting with real people in real time, across the globe. Um, and I went into this world with like this overly simplistic thing that didn't make any fucking sense. And so I was conflicted also because I paid a lot of money, like close to 10K into that training program. But it left me even now, like I don't even want to touch any of that bullshit, right? And so but I really tried to make it work. And until I just decided that, you know what, I can cut my losses here, right? There's that sunk cost fallacy that unfortunately a lot of people fall into where they're like, I invested so much, I'm going to keep going. But like the actual stress and mental toll and lack of results, hit or miss results. And I saw my future using that methodology and being in that space and world. And it was a lot more risky to stay there than leap and completely change everything. And that's really when things changed, when I decided that I was going to stop and leave that old community. And even now, I don't really partake in a lot of hypnosis sessions. People ask me, am I going to go to this huge event? Truth of the matter is no, because I do not believe 95% of what the hypnosis and NLP school teaches and how they do it, because it really doesn't take it into account how the nervous system actually works. It's all about adding more to the client. It's all about let's give them the audios for 30 days. Let's do this. Let's do the homework. Let's let the practitioner do the thing for the client, which is like complete opposite of what I stand for, right? For some people, that's good, but for me, it is definitely not the case. And I started to see that these methodologies, even though they market themselves as a root cause, weren't actually getting to the real root cause. It actually bypassed a lot of the root cause because it was so toxically positive about like having positive suggestions, completely ignoring the fact that there is power in exploring the suck. And so now this is exactly what I teach, right? And instead of doing that, I eventually have developed this way of working that is very simple, that makes a lot of sense, and has incredibly fast results that are unfucking deniable. And so if you're still, if you know you are in this world and you're still in this world of the outdated hypnosis techniques, trying to force a visualization on someone that can't visualize, if you're regressing clients because you were taught that regression to root cause is the be all end all, if you are wanting to really get deep into the client's emotions because the emotions are there, then that is just going to keep you spinning your wheels. That is just going to doubt yourself even more. It's going to make you think that something's wrong with you, and there's really nothing wrong with you or your client specifically, but it's the process of how you do things. Because truly and deeply, if you were to only rely on your client's information, if you just learned the skill of how to actually help clients find their answer, how can you fail? Right? If you are in a transformational world and all of your attention is helping the clients to find their own answer, instead of you thinking of what the best suggestion is, what the next question is, what do I do afterwards, and all of that bullshit that's unnecessary, if you just ask the client how they would particularly resolve the problem on their own and find their answers, how can you not get results? Like, it's impossible, right? Because we know the client and the individual has the answers within themselves. And so if you switch that, but if you want that and you truly believe that in your core, and you want, and this is what you value, and your practice, and you want your practice to be revolved around being completely client centered and giving a really excellent, extraordinary client experience, then I would definitely sit and pause and be brutally honest with yourself and think, okay, are these old methods something that I can see myself using 5 or 10 years from now? Or does that feel like dread to you? You get to listen to that, right? If I ask you the question, hey, if you did the exact same things you're doing in your sessions, the 2 hour prep per session, the 2 hour audios, the reciting hypnosis scripts that deep down you hate and you actually don't believe in, can you see yourself doing that in 5 years? And if you're feeling that dread and not in your body, it is time to reconsider, because you don't want to be stuck in this, because you're just going to sabotage your ability to actually run a business because you have a process that you don't believe in. Ask me how I know. And so, you know, I've been where you are, I've made it to the other side, and now this is exactly what I help my practitioners to do, to actually learn how to use the nervous system in a way that makes sense and actually how it works, to use the foundational basics of how the body works, how the mind works, how to help your clients change their behaviors within the session, not just their thoughts, but their actual behaviors, how they change their unconscious patterns within their sessions, so that if someone comes to you with chronic pain, you'll know exactly how to approach their plan of care moving forward in a way where you feel confident that at the end of your session, you and your client knows that the pain is going to be gone for good. So if you are ready to ditch the guesswork, if you are ready to say fuck it to the scripts that you hate, to the preparation, to the stress, you're done doubting yourself because of the process that actually doesn't work to help clients, then definitely reach out to me, because this is what I'll help you with.